Well, somehow or another, I managed to get this load about 3/10 of a grain hotter than I wanted it. So I'm going to fire a few and just see what they look like. But they are hotter than I want it. Get the sling off of it. Got weight glasses on. Okay. Okay. Well, that warm load it's still accurate too, but it's not as accurate as the other load. We'll try what looks like a little rock there. Don't know if it is or not. I think it went just over it. I got him. Ooh, bright. Bright. Ooh. If you've ever had cataract surgery, you'll know what I'm talking about. It is bright. Anyway, those somewhat warmed up loads they're accurate enough, but not as accurate as the other load. So I didn't mean to get them out more, but go back and pay a little more attention, get it where I want it now. Anyhow, I think I'll go back in the house and start on the let this gentleman here rest a little bit. Yeah, I'll go in and start on the 22-250 now. Okay. Lay aside the 222 for a while. Now I'm going to try out this CFE in a rifle that may be familiar to some of you. It's Ruger started life out as Ruger number 3. Then I custom built it, Ruger number 3 223. And I took the action and custom built, converted it into a 22-250. Totally changed everything about it, trigger, everything. And of course, naturally, I changed the shape. And I actually made a very beautiful rifle out of this thing. It's an incredibly beautiful rifle. Okay. Let's see what it's going to do here. It's got a single set trigger in it also. So let's just see what it's going to do. All right. First shot with CFE 223. Seems a little warm. No. Why it seems a little sticky. Huh. Point of impact, nowhere near where I was expecting. It's definitely sticking. That's it. Going to pull a bullet out of this. That should not be a hot load, and no other pressure signs on it whatsoever, but it's definitely sticking, so I'm going to let it stop there. I'll go in there and pull this bullet and reduce that load and try it again. So I went back in the house and loaded up 3 more with a bit of reduction in the powder charge. For whatever reason, I fired 2 rounds, and as you can see, they were sticky. The extraction was sticky. It showed no other pressure signs whatsoever. I went back in the house and checked everything over. It shows no pressure signs, but it definitely was sticky. And I don't like them being sticky at all, in anything. And anyhow, I reduced the charge. Let's see what's going to happen here now. Use a clean target. That's better. Still just a tiny bit sticky. It's still a little sticky. I gotta go down even more. That's amazing. Darn. Still sticky. my accuracy got a little better. It did not like those hotter loads worth a flip. Well, put it this way. This gun is capable of extremely good accuracy, and the first two shots with the load that's a little bit hot, they were about an inch, which is not good. And these were, these two were almost touching one out just a little bit, but still a little bit sticky. Let's go back and go on down. Well, I went back in the house and loaded up 3 more. Quite a reduction in powder charge, which, I mean, it's not surprising at all. Oh, Sprite. Sprite. I'm not drinking and driving, okay. Reloading manuals or give you a place to start. They give you an idea. When they publish their data, what that really means is that on that given day, using those given components in that given rifle or chamber or whatever, they got these results. A particular lot of powder, a particular lot of bullets, brass and everything else. Temperature and everything else. That's the results they got. So it's a starting point. And every gun is a law unto itself. And in this particular 22-250, with this powder, the performance or the pressures and everything that I'm getting exceed what the manual says. So, I mean, I started with a reduced load, a load, not a real hot load by any means, but it was hot in this gun. So I keep reducing it down. And I will get down till I'm showing no pressure signs. And then, if the accuracy is okay, then I'll fool around with it a little more. But CFE, and I have not shot this over chronograph, so I'm relying on the reload manual also. But CFE, the velocity in it is well above the powder that I'm typically using it, which is IMR 3031. So I can use a pretty, what the manual says is a pretty mild load in CFE 223 and still get some pretty impressive velocities out of it. But velocity don't mean anything if you don't have accuracy go along with it. A fast bullet that misses your target's not any good. You're better off a little slower bullet that hits where you want to. So I'm going to try these next 3 and see what they do, pressure-wise in particular. Dadgummit. That's still hot. Gracious. What's causing this sticking problem? I don't know if it's pressures or what. It's sticky still. see what the accuracy was. Just about like the last one, the last group. Accuracy is not looking all that great so far with this, that CFE and that bullet, let's put it that way. No. Back to the reloading bench. Well, I went back in the house and reduced the charge again. Now, all the load manuals I've got, what these next three are the lowest listed charge weight that I found in any manual. And this is the minimum charge weight that I found in any manual. We'll see what that is. See how that does. Now, in my 222 that I'm still working on, it was in the last video, all of the accurate shooting, the good loads were book listed maximum charges. And they show absolutely no pressure signs, no nothing, and they're highly accurate. Right now I'm shooting, it's 250. Book recommended minimum loads. And they've all been sticking up to this point. And I really reduced it down now. This is the absolute bottom load that I found listed anywhere. So I'm going to try it and let's see what it does. See if it sticks or not. I don't know. We're going to find out. We'll find out what happens here. Put me some good ears on first. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's see which. Daggum wind's blowing my paper down. Blowing my cotton picking target down. Yep, I had to go retape the target. The wind was playing a little havoc with it up there. Alright. See what this book minimum load does. They still stick. Not as bad, but they're sticking. Minimal charges. Lord have mercy, they're sticking. And the accuracy with that minimum charge weight is worse than any of them. So far, as good as the CFE 223's been in the 222, it's been just as disappointing in the 250. Go figure. That's what makes some of this chasing accuracy sort of a fascinating experience. Never know what's going to work and what's not. Right now, that's not working. The CFE 223 and this 55 grain Sierra is not doing any good at all. But this gun has shown a definite preference for 60 grain bullets, so I'm going to go in and try some of a few of the 60 grain loads with this CFE 223. See what that does. We went back in the house and searched through the manual and found the absolute lowest starting load listed for a 60 grain bullet with the CFE 223. That's what I've got right now, and that's what I'm going to try. Let's see if it's what kind of accuracy I may or may not get with it, and whether it's going to stick or not. Biggest problem I've had so far with the CFE is everything I put in it don't want to extract. It's been very sticky. Let's see what this is. Why all that would be, I don't know. But that's the way it is. So let's see what this is going to do. Well, that one wasn't too bad as far as extraction goes. Gum hadn't stuck too. Look through the spots, got one. Well, minimum load in it's sticky. So, I'll have to conclude that CFE 223 is going to get a thumbs down in this rifle. I mean, it works great in my 222, but in this 22-250, it's not working good at all. But I'm going to go in and get some of my standard loads, 30-31 loads. Highmore 30-31 that I shoot all the time in this thing. And I'd recently worked up some loads using Ram Big Game that was fairly accurate, so I'm going to load up a few of the big games, Ram Big Games, and bring some 30-31s out here and check and just make sure there's not something silly going on with the gun making that sticking, but I don't think so. That's a load. Anyway, we'll be back in a little while. Well, back again. Now I've got some loads that were done real good. It's 60 grain Sierra hollow points with 32 grains of IMR 3031. It was shooting good and not sticking. So let's see what it does now. Well, here goes. Check the spot scope and see what they did. Pretty good, pretty good. Now, let's check. Well, naturally the battery died. I mean, if the battery's not dead, the SD card's full. There's always something. If you're trying to video, there's always something aggravating the dickens out of it. But anyway, both of the loads that I just shot, the 3031 and the Ram Big Game are accurate. Two in each shot group, two's touching and one is out. So it means I need to jockey around with those loads just a little bit more. But I'm going to try here now the old standby, which is 32 grains, 3031, 55 grain Sierra. Let's see how that shakes out. It's pouring down rain right now. Probably shouldn't be shooting at all, but before it destroys my target, I'll go ahead and try to get off a few and hope the rain, you never know what a raindrop's liable to do to your bullet. like the way they eject anyway. And take a look at the spot scope. Well, I have to say, that my conclusions on all this is, shooting this 250 today, is that CFE 223 gets a solid thumbs down in this rifle, just in this rifle. I mean, it gets a solid thumbs up in that 222 triple deuce. My goodness, it shoots great in that. But in the 22-250, it does not shoot good. And I was reading where one guy had talked to a factory technician at Hodgson's about the 223. And his conclusion was it was only marginally good in the 22-250. And we were trying to figure out if you could get a load for a 220 Swift. And of course, he totally ruled out the Swift. He said since it's only marginally effective in the 22-250, they had no luck at all with the Swift. So I will have to say I wouldn't even rate it marginally effective in my 22-250. It's just not any good at all. I mean, this rifle does not like CFE 223. This rifle here, this Ruger number 3, custom built. And it's an accurate gun, I mean, but it don't like that. And I shot a pretty accurate load of ram, big game. It likes it pretty good. But I need to jockey that load around. I hadn't exactly zeroed in on the perfect. I need to go up and down just a little bit from there. Check on that. And the 60 grain load, using 32 grains of 30-31, it's accurate. It's accurate, but so far, my old standby 32 grains of 30-31 with the 55 grain bullet it's still riding high. It's still the best. So I will continue over the summer to shoot a little bit, and particularly using the 60 grain bullet, and see if I can get it to outperform the 55. It's going to take some doing, but I'm going to fool around with it. So I like to shoot and I like to tinker, so I will do that. Yeah. Let me drop these 32.1 grain loads on top of the 32 grain. See what happens out there. If it changes the impact or whatever. Let's see. See where that went. that is amazing. One-tenth of a grain can make as much difference as what it does. With 32 grains, this is with the 60 grain bullet of IMR 3031. 62 grains, it's good and it's accurate. Very accurate, but at 1/10 gets rid of the little inconsistencies, little flyers. So 32.1 grains as far as the 60 grain Sierra bullet goes, and the IMR 3031, that's the load. 32.1 grains. Now I gotta try about the 32.6 grain load with the 55 grain bullet and see what that does. That's next step. Okay. Now this is 32.6 grains of IMR 3031 with 55 grain Sierra bullets. Let's see what we got here. Functions great, of course. Oh, my eye clear up there. Cattle are running over into this field, so I'm going to have to make short work of this. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, sir. It's amazing how much difference just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grains powder can make. Mind-boggling. I'll go up there and get the targets, and we're going to have to call it quits because I've got 5 pastures here. Cattle have just, and they free roam into any of them they want. And it's about time of the day before they come over to this pasture. And they came over in force, so cow season ain't open yet, so I reckon I'll shoot one of them. Oh my goodness, let me go up and get targets. Okay, let's see if we can make some sense out of this now. The ram big game, that's 37.5 grains, is here. These tests are a continuation from a long running test. This is just what I've done today, but this is in addition to many tests I've run before. And the ram big game showing potential, but there's generally got this flyer, as well as the 32 grains of 3031. These are both with 60 grain hollow point bullets. Now these two right here, as well as this one, these are together just like this. There's 2 together in a flyer. There's 2 together in a flyer. But if I go, that's 32 grain. If I go up 32, if I go up 1/10 of a grain, 1/10 of a grain, look at these 3 right here. That's consistent with tests that I've done before. That 1/10 of a grain can make one heck of a difference. Now over here, this is my go-to everyday load in that 22-250. It's 32 grains to 30-31 in 55 grain Sierra Spire Point. It's always accurate, but it's a little bit loose. It's accurate, but it's loose in here. So, what I have found, and I've got no scientific basis for this at all, but what I've found that if I've got, like in the 22-250 area, and I've got a powder, I've got a load that's accurate, that load's accurate, like this is 32.1 grains. If I change bullet weight by 5 grains, if I change my powder charge by 5/10 of a grain, it will also be accurate. I found this to be true over the years. So I took this, I've been working with this 60 grain bullet, and I come up with 32.1 grains, and so far it's been my most accurate. Most accurate. So I thought, wait a minute, let's take my 55 grain bullet and apply that principle. I went from 60 grain here, I went down 55 grains, so I went up or down 5 grains in bullet weight. So I went up 5/10 of a grain over the 60 grain load, which is 32.1. So I would chose 32.6 grains. 32.6 grains. And look what I'm doing. And shot 3 shots. 2 in the same hole and the other touch. From 32.1 grains with a 60 grain bullet to 32.6 grains with a 55 grain bullet. Both are showing extreme accuracy. I will have to do some further tests on this, but so far, it's really, I mean, I've been testing this over a period of time now. And it's certainly starting to look like 32.1 grains to 30-31 with that 60 grain hollow point, and 32.6 grains of 30-31 with the 55 grain bullet. Looking very promising. But right now, the primary purpose of shooting today was to test the CFE 223 in the 22-250. And it's just not in the cards. It's just not going to work. So I reckon I'll call it a day for right now, and we'll get back to doing some more load testing in the not too distant future, because coyote season's always open, but deer season, I mean, this is mid-July. Deer season's not that far off. We need to, so I'll be concentrating on deer calibers here for a while. So anyway, starting to rain a little bit. The grass needs mowing. I mean, that's for sure. I should have mowed it yesterday, but the grass needs mowing. But it's rained just enough right now to wet the grass enough to keep me from mowing right now. It might dry off here in a little while. If it does, I might mow a little bit. But right now, I'm going to put the rifles up and go in and load me up a few more of those 25.9 grain loads in the 222 in the triple deuce using that CFE 223. Because that's a good load. So I'm going to load up a few more of it and do a little bit more testing with it. But right now, that's a heck of a good load. I've definitely got to pursue that a little more. I really like, so far, I really like the CFE 223 in the triple deuce. I like that a lot. But that's going to be for another day. Right now, I'm going to put all this stuff up. And this every year, I like to take my wife on a cruise. And everybody says, you on a cruise? I mean, they know me. I'm not much of a cruise guy, but every year I like to take my wife on a cruise, and she likes to go. So I take her in my yacht, my 16-foot John boat yacht. What she does is she goes with me fishing a little while on her birthday. That's what she likes to do for her birthday. She goes with me fishing a little bit. So I'm going to get ready. We're going to go down Monday. Today's actually her birthday. She's 82 years old today. You'd never know it. Good looking woman. So I'm going to take her on her annual cruise come Monday. It'll be Monday 24th. I'm going to take her on a cruise. I love doing that. We actually have a ball doing that. We go down and do a little bit of fishing, mostly just lollygagging around the lake, looking at the lake and going up on the bank and picnicking a little bit. We've been married 61 years, or 60, coming up 62, I guess. No, we've been married 62 years. Lord have mercy. Huh. Anyway, we've been married a while. I love that woman. So anyway, I'm going to get ready for my cruise, put up the rifles, and we'll talk soon.